It's you. I was afraid you had drowned. Help me step through the glass, Dorothy. You're so beautiful.
Oh, that scene was so magical, wasn't it? Hey, Facebook and social media world. It's me again, Steven, your Celebrity Monday trivia guy. Thank you for joining me again. I was just watching one of my favorite movies, Return to Oz. That scene where Fairuza Balk, who played Dorothy, takes Ozma, played by Emma Ridley, and pulls her out of the mirror. That scene gets me every time. But you know what else gets me every time? A new season of something. And speaking of a new season, I have an all-new season waiting for you. I have a whole season of magic, a whole season of dance, a whole season of all the celebrities that you can ever imagine. Speaking of celebrities and trivia, do you ever wonder whatever happened to that girl who played Ozma? Ozma of Oz from Return to Oz. Emma Ridley.
1987, and in another of the iconic images of the decade, a new wild child emerges. She's just 14, and her name's Emma Ridley.
Wait, that's what happened to her?
Amanda would suddenly go out with her friend Emma and not come out all night, you see, and a lot of it linked back to Emma.
I didn't know that.
The public schoolgirl was hauled off to a children's home. And true to form, her first call was to a journalist, who then broke into the home disguised as a cleaner.
What? So where is she now?
Hi, Stephen!
Ah, there she is. Hello, Emma Ridley.
Hello, Stephen!
Can you hear me? Can you hear me,
Yes,
Emma?
I can hear you.
It's so
Yes.
great to see you. I can't believe that I'm actually talking to Ozma from Oz. How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I am so fine now that I'm talking to Ozma from Oz. So I wanted to quickly talk about Return to Oz and the process of you transforming from Emma to Ozma, because I don't think that the book was written yet. So you had to learn about the character. And then I wanted to talk about a certain scenes that you did with Fairuza. Okay? So how did you find out that they were doing Return to Oz, and what was your audition process?
The audition process was very basic. I just walked in, and the guy that interviewed me was the same guy that had cast Drew Barrymore in E.T.
Oh.
So he was very great with kids and very warm, and everything was fine. And I practiced my lines, and then I just read, and it was very normal. And then the first time I met Fairuza, she kind of made me feel uncomfortable because she said what was said in the script. Oh, you're so beautiful. You know, I never knew how to react when she said that. And it was like, well, not really. I'm just regular like everybody else. So, you know, but it was a beautiful experience. And I think I didn't appreciate the magic of being connected to Oz as much as I have now, 35 years later.
And it's Ozma.
Quite magical.
That's incredible. Do you still talk to Fairuza?
I don't. No, we bumped into one another maybe 20 years after that in Hollywood at a screening. And I think she'd just done Witchcraft because she was still all gothic and really cool. And she's way cooler than I am. And what I just recently found out is that Ozma actually didn't get older than 16. So I'm allowed to be 16 for the rest of my life, which is hysterical. So I'll always be a wild child.
Hell yeah. Okay, I have to ask you this question as a huge fan of Jean Marsh, because I love Willow. What was it like working with Jean Marsh?
I love Jean Marsh. Amazing. She was absolutely amazing. She said the most beautiful thing to me that I never forgot. She said if she ever had a daughter, she'd want her daughter to be just like me. And I know that was so special. That really touched my heart. And I was 11 or 12, and I never forget that. It was on set. Fruza and I were the only kids on set, and we were just playing and having fun. And I guess it was like dancing around as always, because I was in ballet school. And she was just enjoying watching kids play, you know. And she was a really wonderful woman, very, very smart and warm and endearing and genuine. She was so authentic. Wonderful lady.
Can you talk about the scene where you and Fairuza jump into the water? From what I understand, that was all indoors. And how did that happen? And I have a lot of problems with that scene because of a line that was said later on in the movie. But was there actually water at that house that you were? How did that work?
Well, it all came together in separate pieces. The running away from the insane asylum was shot much later. You know, it was the scene before, and we did a night shoot. And I remember being so excited because, you know, I got to go to work at like 2 a.m. And it was fun to be up all night. And they had a big wind machine, and that was actually on location. So the running away from the insane asylum or the medical center or whatever you want to call it, they had a wind machine, and it was night shoot. And Fairuza was like, well, the director just said to me, run as fast as you can. So I had her hand, poor thing, and I felt like I was dragging her, but I was trained to be an actress, so I did what I was told, and I ran as fast as I could. And I was taller and, you know, maybe a bit more athletic because I was in ballet school. And poor Fairuza, I think I pulled her over a couple of times. But I tried to slow down. And then the second half was done before. And we're in the soundstage, and it was like a hot jacuzzi. It was bubbly, it was great fun. And in between takes, Fairuza and I would go off and swim. And everyone, including the director and the crew, would say, there's wires underneath the water. It was hot. It was a warm jacuzzi. The lady that did my stunt actually gashed her knee and got stitches in her knee. So that was completely authentic because she rolled down.
That was not you that jumped in the water.
Wasn't me who did the fall.
Oh.
Yes, the man rolled down the mountain. That's not me. But the one who jumped in the water was me.
Here is my problem with that scene. If you remember, after you disappear from the frame and Fairuza goes into the crates, she doesn't bat an eyelash when she thinks that you drowned. She just gets in there and she falls asleep and she floats away into the night mist. What happened to you? Where'd you go? How come she didn't try to...
Well, they wanted me to kind of gulp as if I'd swallowed a load of water. So to imagine that maybe I had drowned.
Well, how come she wasn't more worried about you? How come she wasn't more worried about you? How come she just floated away into Oz?
I don't know. You have to ask L. Frank Baum. He wrote all that stuff.
Okay. Now, here's what I want to ask you. You are somebody who has been profiled by the paparazzi just as much as Amy Winehouse has, as much as Anna Nicole has. You have a Hollywood history that I would say would be considered a legend. At 15 years old, you married somebody 15 years your senior. Your mother just said okay to that?
Yeah, as long as we got her nice dress.
You went from playing Ozma of Oz to the Hollywood wild child. You have partied with almost every celebrity on the planet. You said in a quote from the tabloids, I will do everything once, twice if I liked it. How did your mother just say okay to you marrying somebody 15 years your senior?
And as long as she had a nice dress to wear at the wedding, we did shop quite a while to find a perfect dress for the wedding. We got married at 12 midnight on Long Island Iced in Vegas with Reverend Dwayne Williams, a truck driver / Reverend, in the Chapel of Love. I remember it well. My mom has always known my personality, and I think I was raised with the freedom to be authentically me. And I think it she knew who I was, and whether she was going to agree or not, when I'm determined in something and I'm driven to do something and I was in love, I wanted to get married and that was it, really.
I wanted to ask about...
I love celebrations. Look, I love birthdays, weddings, cakes. I have a thing for cakes. I love cakes. I love cake.
I love... Oh my God. And what is the reason for that cake?
Well, we just had our anniversary. My 4th wedding anniversary. My favorite husband, by the way. And I live my life exuberating experiences, you know, and absorbing everything that I can experience. My mom said when I was a baby, my hands, when I got excited, I would go like this, like as if I had or feelers, like I was very touchy-feely, and I just wanted to like feel what life had to offer. I've always been kind of, when I was younger, crazy and wild, and now that I'm older, I love the fact that I get to be eccentric. That's why I put glitter on today for our little chat.
Okay, so is Emma Ridley still a wild child? Do you still go out and party with everybody that you meet? Is Emma Ridley still the same person that she was?
I'm still pretty crazy, yeah. I mean, I'm eccentric. I love to experience life. I love to experience new things and have fun parties at my house. I don't go out as much as I used to. I mean, we go out to dinner all the time, obviously, but now there's COVID, so who knows what we're doing. But I like to have parties. We can't have gatherings more than 10 people. So I haven't done any parties lately in my home. But I love to have events and excitement and, you know, someone to love, somewhere to love, and something to look forward to. You know, so it's always nice to have something in the pipeline that's coming up and something to look forward to. So I guess I am just an experience junkie. There we go. I'm an experience junkie.
I wanted to ask about a rumor that was brought up by one of the tabloids years ago when there was a tabloid run for you where they said, I want 30 people dispatched to get pictures of Emma Ridley and nobody is to come back until they find it. Are the rumors true that the reason that you turned to dancing and the rumors that you were branded a wild child is because you wanted to shred the image of being the good girl Ozma?
That's very interesting. I've never thought about that question before. That's a good question. Actually, playing the part Ozma, I took on the role quite seriously, looking back now, and I took on my older sister role because I had to be Dorothy's older sister. So really, I was always crazy and wild, but to be the calm, subdued, cool and collected princess or royalty, I pulled my personality in a little bit because I've always been crazy. As a baby, I was always happy. Everyone wanted to play with me. I didn't cry when I got handed around to different people. And, you know, I was just, that's what my mom says. So I was just always out there. And being the Ozma for the character, I tried to be all royalty-like.
Last thing, they had to dub your voice in Return to Oz. That wasn't actually you talking because of your accent. Why couldn't they use your accent?
I don't know, and it gave me a complex for a very long time. My acting and my voice was a lot more becoming than the voice that they used, which was the daughter of the director, Beatrice Murch, and she wasn't a trained actress, so her voice was just kind of standard. It didn't have much emotion behind it. So I was very upset, especially being 12 or 13 when the movie was released. And we went to see it, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not my voice. They didn't even tell me. So apparently Disney do that a lot. But, you know, when Ryan J, actually, from Ryan J Reviews, got the original tape for me to hear my original voice. And that was amazing. You know, that was like, wow, I can actually hear my own voice and hear that I did a great job. My sweet little voice, very young, very British. And I thought it was a great voice, but obviously they thought different.
You did. Okay. Emma, thank you so much for talking to me. I really do love you.
We can try again soon.
I hope so, yes. Thank
I
you
love
for talking
you.
to me. Okay. Okay. I love you, Emma.
God bless you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.